competitive play. We'll start off with our ban faiths. Penta, first of all, and which attacker will they remove? Would they opt for an Ashe because Blast would run the Ashe consistently? I think it's going to be somewhere like a Thatcher picked off here if they're looking for some mute strategies, which a lot of teams have been, and it's Nomad. Okay, not surprising either.
Can't really blame them. I think Oregon is the map that everyone pulled out of the back pocket when they wanted to explain why they thought Nomad was broken. And that's more of the map just being structured the way it is, more than Nomad itself being broken, but there's a Ying being taken out of the equation as well. Yeah, Oregon is not a map you want a Nomad available on, or a Ying. Actually, Oregon's not a map you want a lot of operators available on. It's maybe just not a great map.
If only.
If only.
Mira is going to be taken away here, which is this one final operator, usually the Echo or the Maestro. Again, like, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I mean, it's there.
Defender bans have been pretty consistent in all three regions. Take out a Mira for the most part, and then pick one of the other two. Yeah,
I mean, LATAM lets slip the Dogs of War, including Mira, quite a bit.
And then one game in LATAM, we just see an Echo and a Maestro ban.
Yeah.
For fun.
We've yet to see. Well, I remember the time where we didn't have Maverick, and we had to. I think it was me and Michael. We casted this Millennium game versus Vitality when they were still in Pro League. It's like it was on Border, and they had banned both Thermite and Habana, and there was no hard breach after that. And you're like, what am I doing here? And then you see Fuse Shield come out for the entirety of the attacking rise by Millennium, and you're like, hello? With that said, a bit of a revisit of history. We should have those, where we kind of revisit older rounds or older metagames and just laugh at it. It's like, remember back then? What did we know? Well, we could actually do quite a bit of that. But Hungary with the setup downstairs. Of course, as you see, the whole thing is just going to start off in Laundry. The Maestro picked up the Clash of Blasts. Is going to be interesting to see how they kind of put her in play. She's going to be really powerful if we see a push from Tower, which for quite a while was a very popular method of entering here.
Yeah, and I think the more that Thatcher gets banned out, the more we see these back tower takes and the back pushes, because it went back and forth. Back in like very early year one, whenever Oregon got played, tower takes were the norm.
Yeah.
Then year two, we start switching to front takes, and then now we're regressing back to rear takes whenever a Thatcher's banned. Thankfully, Thatcher's still in play, so the Kaid not going to be as effective. Revan's still going to bring the mute just to be stall factor and utilize and waste some of that utility on the side of Empire, and Joystick's going to botch a drone. So
it's actually going to run the G36 with an ACOG. Let's see how he fares with this now.
He said last week he didn't like it, so we'll see if that sticks very long.
I think he bamboozled us.
Oh, maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Just psyching us out. He's psyching everyone else out with the interview.
Well, a clear tower take is something quite a few teams, including Empire, like to go for quite a few times. Empire's attacks are easy to read. They will always pretty much do the same exact thing, but it'll work every single time. And they're like, how? We don't understand. Not everything has been reinforced here in terms of hatches, as there are more reinforcements set up downstairs to prevent this sort of attack, because you see even the sidewall here has been reinforced, which is not usually the case. Usually this wall is set up more of a soft one with even holes blown out in it. And I mentioned Blast's power in this situation. Sure, you have the Zofia, but when there's distance between you and the Clash, Blast can be very effective at maneuvering himself against incoming fire and staying alive.
I think that one reinforcement might actually throw Empire off for a minute here, as they're not expecting this. They're used to visibility from the hallway, but now they're going to be cordoned off into a very tight corridor, especially with Blast staring down them with that Clash shield. Going to be slowing them down and doing slight amounts of damage as they try to progress through. Shockwave is going to maneuver his way downstairs into blue, as Karzek and Scyther are already positioned. Shepard going to continue pushing down the back stairs. That's the majority of this team established for a blue push into the red hallway. The Thermite charge will detonate. That'll be the blue hall wall ripped wide open. Now they've got purview in, but again, this reinforced wall, where typically there's a soft wall with a rotate. And Scyther pre-aiming in multiple times over, waiting for a peek from behind the deployable shield, but Sir Boss has fallen back. It was a deployable shield deployed by enemy earlier on, and some frag grenades being prepped now by Karzeka. Ring out, but not do a single point of damage, and now Empire crunched on time and stalling out a little bit downstairs.
See, that it's literally that reinforcement and the clash next to it. There's a moving castle in front of you, and you can't do anything. It's the players on top of the crenellations that you can't do anything against. Revon will find one kill on Karjeka. Your flank is now taken away. Sure, you can try and deal with the one in the pack, but Revon is here to take you out. Enemy with one more, as Joystick is the only one to go for the flank, and you're left with not much time and not much utility, having wasted one or used one of your thermite charges to open up the hatch from the top. And that's why the second hatch leading into this position has not been reinforced before. Shockwave all on his own. He'll save the op as Hungry finds the kill on Shepard. And the defense of Penta wins out the round off of wonderful execution, but also I can't understate this enough or overstate this enough. Please, that reinforcement was so key in this whole endeavor.
Yeah, I don't like placing the entire course of a 3-minute round on one item or one person. But that reinforcement did a lot. First of all, it cut off visibility in behind the rotational boxes for your typical laundry rotate. And it cut off the ability to have a crossfire on the Clash when she's taking aim and slowing down the attackers progressing down hallway underneath hallway hatch. That also, what it effectively does is it separates the attackers into two separate streams. They're completely cut off from one another. On one end, you've got multiple SMG-11s bearing down on you with nitro cells raining over the top of the shelving. And then you've got a Clash with a deployable shield and an Alda behind that Clash.
And a reinforced wall next to it as well to make sure you're not moving anywhere.
It was hard to think one reinforcement would alter the entire progression of a round. And I would say, honestly, even if they didn't reinforce, they blew it open like standard, and they still played the Clash, but played her further back.
Yes, it would have still worked with that shield, with the way they had set everything up. They would have needed to sacrifice the thermite charge somewhere else. It's just, you brought the thermite. If you had a Habana in that position, the round is completely different. Now you blow open the hatch in upstairs. You have an extra angle as well to move through and have one all the way from blue. And also, you have that extra angle that's now opened up by the reinforcement, but then who knows, maybe they just shoot your X-Kairos off of it. It's really crazy to kind of try to think about it, but it's a mixture of the Clash, the shield, the way the reinforcements were done, and the utility, the lack of it to try and deal with such a thing. It's not revolutionary by any means of the term, but it definitely held Empire back, who were kind of like, okay, what do we do about this? And, well, you get fragging. Penta have no lacks when it comes to pure fragging power. That's it. We get to round number 2, as, yes, there was quite a bit to digest from the very first one, so we'll have to live through with us here the first minute of the round. Empire setting up again with their tower take, and from there, we'll try to assault up onto the kids' dorm, but they haven't had control of kitchen just yet.
No, they've got reinforcements downstairs in the kitchen wall. Bloss currently playing inside a kitchen with Revan in the bathroom hallway. Okay, double stack outside of the main window. Shepard and Scyther. Sophia and the Thatcher. They're trying to pin down Hungry right now. He'll have to smoke himself off a little early here. You know, we're only minute 15 into the round, but it does disrupt visibility long enough for him to escape. Joystick unable to spot the rotation, and it'll be Hungry rotating all the way down through the hatch into Pantry on the main floor. So now Dorms is evacuated now. There are no defenders currently holding it, and you've got multiple repels out here from Empire on the Dorms windows. Your biggest obstacle to overcome, is downstairs inside of the kitchen, though, with those kill holes placed directly underneath the windows.
There's literally nobody on the site. Sir Boss technically being on white, but all the others are playing from the other side. Where, look at this, there's 2 C4s that are in play, but look at the amount of shotgun holes, Rob. There's so many of them, and Joystick realizes what's going to happen here. They need to deal with the rotations, and Blast is taken away. Huge, but can Enemy actually get anything off of it? No. So far, Shockwave has spotted him with the drone. Perfect positioning on top of the box here in tower. And Joystick's going to be weary of any assaults from below. That's basically just a flank that's being held. Shepard just kind of dives in and goes for the plant, and there's nobody fighting against him. Does the Maestro even know about this? Well, he's definitely going to make himself heard. Karjeka is going to be felled. Shockwave refrag onto Enemy. A fire in the back. Sir Boss is taken away in a 4v2. The C4 from Revon, unable to do much. Head spotted here, Scyther, but Hungry taken off, and Ravon is last man standing with that Nitro cell, but they know exactly where he's at, and all the rifles are going to be looking right at him. Scyther just chopping him up, and Empire, that is an efficient take.
It's a well-executed tower take, and like you said, complete evacuation of the objective for Penta Sports on that round, and they tried to play from below, but clearly someone missed their objective. Someone wasn't facilitating their role of watching either a window or, actually, yeah, just a window, either the two small dorms windows or the big window in the middle of the A-bomb, because that was a Thatcher of Shepherd that was able to vault in and get a plant down with no contestation, obviously. Sir Boss at the top of White Stairs was able to grab a pick outside a big window, but other than that, there wasn't really a lot of fight back there from Penta, and the retake was made immeasurably more difficult by the fact that they weren't watching for plant. Tough one there for Penta. A good read there from Empire to run back the tower take. Sometimes when teams find extreme resistance like that on their first style of take, they might swap it up to a secondary style. I like that from Empire, though. Stick to your guns. Still push through on a tower take, and a good hold by Shockwave inside of T2 on the top of the stairs, utilizing that drone and picking off not one but two defenders, Blaz and I believe it was Revan as well, who tried to come... No, it wasn't Revan, but two defenders for Penta tried to flank him through the tower stairs, and he was able to hold his own there, and that's honestly your linchpin whenever you're holding inside a tower.
Yeah, you had both enemy and Blast kind of moving around from that position. It was smart for enemy to not push up the stairs at that point, but you had already lost one of your operators in that position. You're like, that's not great. Our flank is still being held later in the round.
So again, it'll be the same majority style of setup here for Penta, as they're still locked out from going back downstairs, really where they're most comfortable. Upstairs, it's tough to play inside of the site anywhere, honestly, top floor Oregon, when they come for a tower take. If they go for a master take with one person on the big window, then you have some freedom to play inside of dorms, but if they're going for a full tower take, as soon as they pop up from those windows, they can rappel anywhere, they can be on multiple vertical levels. It's very, very difficult to actually survive and stay inside of kids, and that's why we saw Hungry pop a smoke and drop down the pantry hatch. He was the last man on site, and he had to bail too. So when this tower take comes out, it's really smothering and it's suffocating for Penta to try and work out of on staying on site. They need to do a better job of watching the windows, though, and making sure Scyther and Shepherd can't rappel in for free.
And you know what my counter to that would be? A solution? Why not just grab a Pulse? Pulse and Kitchen in this sort of position where you're putting so much effort on holding the bottom floor, just grab a Pulse and you're going to have access and information on the windows with only one operator. This entire wall is now being held by one op, and you can still direct your attention towards the big window. It will help you quite a bit, because so far it's a literal repeat of what we had in the previous round.
Second verse, same as the first. Hungry will pop a smoke and head back downstairs through the pantry hatch. Joystick only taking, honestly, barely anything noticeable as far as damage is concerned. It seems like a drone has spotted out Bloss on his flank through small tower, though. It's like they're, well, yeah, it keeps turning back. I'm not even sure if it's a, yeah.
The drone spotted him.
Just knifed him, knifed the drones, and now that'll be Scyther evacuating his position at the top of the big window, but he'll hold the White Stairs window rotate again as he did last round. Things are shaping up identical to the previous round that had just transpired. And now we're waiting on Shepherd to see if he'll be afforded this free rappel into Dorm's bedroom and be able to plant again. Like you said, they have to have a lot of visibility on the site, and you do have two Nitro cells downstairs from enemy and Ravon. It just looks like there's lack of a tower flank coming out from Penta this time.
Scyther still watching rotations off the one angle. I mean, Empire might have won the last round, but they kind of learned the way that their opponents were playing around. Kadesheka nading himself with quite a bit of damage here taken away. They'll go for the gunfight against enemy and promptly lose that headshot of the SMG-11. But this actually allows Shepherd to just come in and find the free plant with 2 kills, make that 3 for Empire. Last 2 alive. Is there anything that Blast can do in this? I could find one, but now taken away to half health, his teammate behind him.
They're both trying to rotate up White Stairs, and it's a difficult situation to be in as the plant is down in big window. I imagine they're expecting more of a kids plant in their retreat. But you still got 2 rappels outside of windows. Easy pre-fire there for Joystick to collect on the Blaz, and now it's Hungry alone in a 1v3 taking fire and aim. Joystick lands the headshot. Hungry will fall, and that's Penta losing consecutive rounds upstairs. Again, it's a vault in through the big window. Shepard getting a plant down with no real nitro cells coming out to try and stop. That's kind of my big concern right now is you've got 2 nitro cells positioned downstairs inside a kitchen. You sent one of them to go for a flank last time, which was enemy on the mute. That's fine. You change it up, you keep them downstairs. But again, there's a lack of info on the objective, and I think your call is perfect. Grab a pulse, man. Grab a pulse. I know that Scyther is watching that downstairs white window. At that point, you got to find a creative way to displace him from there. And whether it's Blas coming back earlier, because he was able to get the kill. We can see that Blas can fight that angle and win it out. Either he's got to fight that head on, or he's got to go for a vault out the showers window and clear that angle so that someone can get in down below into bathroom hallway and nitro Shepard when he's going for the plant.
And no matter how you look at it, any retake on Kids Dorms is just...
Oh, it's
so difficult. It's just... You have a chance of winning it until the diffuser is set, in which case you're kind of...
A retake of Kids Dorms requires at least, I would say, at least 2 members on the attacking team to screw up.
Or just you having overwhelming manpower, which in that case, you probably shouldn't have allowed the plant to come down anyways.
Yeah, if you've got the overwhelming manpower, then yes, it's doable because you can flank up both staircases and take angles onto windows and honestly just play for trades at that point. However, if you're in an even man count situation, you somehow lose a retake when you have plant down on the attacking side, that means someone screwed up. That means someone didn't watch a flank, someone didn't watch a staircase, there's only 2 of them, or didn't watch the main hallway and have someone watching white. It's very, very, very difficult unless you get immediately aggressive jumping out of windows.
Is that joystick on a Capitao?
That is.
Is that a suppressor?
No.
Yeah, okay, it's not stubby enough.
No. We heard the shot when he shot the default game.
Like something's up there. With that said.
This is interesting from Empire.
They change it up.
Yep, they're not going for a back tower take. They're going for a front take. And Penta, weirdly enough, they seem to be reading this as well. They're not bringing the clash.
Yep.
They've altered the strategy quite a lot, actually. They got Blas now on the Legion downstairs, and front hatch will get opened up as Thatcher's still in place. The Mute Jammer's only prolong the inevitable of that hatch getting opened up.
Yeah, the Maestro camera there, set up by Sir Boss, is actually a pretty interesting and cool one. It gets run quite a bit. But opening up the whole side of the closet is kind of a not sure just yet kind of thing, where you can just open the top of it and have the same line of sight. I'm still not sure. It's TBD. But joystick looking around, nothing spotted just yet. Scyther can destroy the shield, but you see the Maestro camera in the back just giving info over joystick's position. That explains why Empire aren't really rushing really fast and taking any sort of maneuvers. And in the meantime, Karjeka on the sledge in the back, just holding off any rotations. Just looking all the way down, and there you go. That's the shield taken away. Should be the Maestro camera as well, and there's the smoke in the back. Can use the extra asphyxiating bolt, but joystick will just continue to Q and E, kind of try to find a kill in the back, or at least suppress his opponents. And that's the 2 asphyxiating bolts down. Everything effectively used here by Team Empire in the retake from Penta. Even with so much manpower, it's going to be a difficult one. But Blast will start off with 1, Sir Boss with refrag, and Shockwave is ready for Hungry. Takes him away. Karjeka still watching the angle, will take away Blast, and a 3v3. Not much time left.
Nitro Shell shot out of midair, and still consecutive shots rattling up through that hatch. Concussion mines will rain out. Shockwave collects another, but now Sir Boss working his way up the main stairs. The frag grenade at his backside, and he'll be down on the main stairs, leaving enemy alone. As he's on the diffuser, he'll fall off as a bait comes out, but Scyther dropping down the hatch. Drop, Renton, drop. An enemy will fall. Penta surrender 3 straight.
He has to defuse! Drop! That's a legendary moment in Rainbow Six history.
The only reason I remembered it right there is because I was on Twitter right before we went live.
Yeah,
I saw
that's an awful thing.
I saw Gotcha tweet out that someone from his church, who knows nothing about Siege, saw the Renton clip.
What?
And like made this calligraphy sign saying drop Renton. Yeah, and gave it to him. It's actually amazing.
You'll have to excuse me. I need to see that for
Go
myself
for it.
right now. So continue on, my friend.
No
Carry
worries.
on, my wayward son.
So it's a rear stage and watchtower defense, and at this point, I don't really blame Penta. Things are falling off a little bit. Yeah, you see that?
He actually did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's amazing.
I hope Renton is like asking for royalties at this point.
Honestly, he should. We need some drop Renton merch from Gotcha. I'd wear that.
With that said, Penta Sports now take on the tower. The only site that they have, well, they haven't gone to the kitchen. So one of the two sites that they haven't been to just yet, and they have been successful once on the basement, but that's where it ends. Hungry himself has had quite a bit of success on this site. And remember the week of Pro League where it was literally all boiled down to a montage of shotguns killing people. So maybe this will be able to return, but Team Empire are very efficient at taking tower, so it's gonna be a real battle up there.
Either it's premonition or it's good preparation. Joystick taking the capital once again. One of the most instrumental operators in clearing out T3, the top of the tower as it's most commonly called, and some T2 windows get popped open as Karzeka's rappelling upside down, holding an angle, a very tight angle, onto those tower stairs, awaiting the return of any defenders, and looks like one has just eluded him. Hungry positioned on the stairs, and I don't think he's going to afford Karzeka any angles here, and as I say that, as I turn my head upside down to watch the angle itself, it's a dangerous position. Sir Boss as well, flanking in towards the main lobby, a frag grenade being cooked and caught by the ADS, so now Karzeka will waste one frag and have to wait out for his ADS to be cleared, but no aggression from Penta. Sir Boss and Blas both tack in for two. Shockwave and Karzeka go down. You still have T3 control, and that's enemy up there. He's in good shape.
Oh, the ADS even catching the EMP. Unfortunate. Maybe you can throw that EMP on top of the entire tower. Maybe that'll hit in that case. And finally, Joystick's going to take away enemy there, but you still need to watch for rotations and for drops. It's not just the actual doorways, it's also those pesky, pesky windows. Joystick scanning around. He'll find the foot in the back of the Legion. Well, Bloss is still alive. For how long? You see one player as well holding off by the armory. And Shepard to continue to drone. And that drone's going to get taken away. They're not sure of where their opponents are. And Empire, having lost two players, they're not going to have much flexibility when it comes to their strategies here.
No, they're down a man, and that means they're down an angle they can hold. And this flank from Sir Boss over towards that armory stairs window was pretty instrumental in distracting Empire even further. But now we'll repel in from Joystick as he utilizes one of his smoke bolts and looking down the tower stairs. Oh! Ripped right through two. Blas and Hungry both fall in tandem. Sir Boss needs to retake as he's the last man alive. Joystick going through three. Shepard getting the plant down, holding the tower stairs. Sir Boss trying to slowly creep his way back in. Not trying to make any sound through the barbed wires. He's at the base of the stairs. Joystick spots the foot. And that's the ace for Joystick. We'll go to a rehost most likely for a sound bug. But Penta, in such a good position off the backs of some early aggression, drop yet another one, and it's an extended Empire lead.
Can someone stop this guy? Joystick Taragoy, what is that? What? He just destroyed everybody.
Yeah?
Like, oh, I'll just vault in. I'll just snap one kill. I'll just get another one.
Like I said, either it was premonition or incredibly well-timed preparation for him to play the Capitao. The LMG, I mean,
he played it the round before as well.
He did play it for a downstairs take. It's an alteration. We saw the Ash G36 ACOG coming out. And then...
I don't think he felt too comfy with that.
That's the thing. He was still doing well with it, but Joystick likes to be comfy. And I would be hard-pressed to imagine that the M249 is more comfortable than a G36.
Now here's the thing: when it gets to the point where you're so good, maybe just more.
I know the M249 is good, and obviously 100 bullets. Yes, I know all about that, and the scope is nice, right?
And the scope actually is a big deal.
Joystick, however, is used to maneuverability, right?
Yeah.
He plays those 3 speeds. He plays Ash, he plays IQ. Sometimes he'll play Jackal, but he's used to, again, extremely quick ADS time on the PDW when he plays Jackal, and extremely quick reload time. The M249 is the stark opposite of what he's used to in gunplay. So I'm surprised that this might actually be his newfound thing.
Yeah.
Because it was the R4C for the longest time until people started banning it, and then it was the PDW.
I think the R4C is like everybody's thing.
Yeah. That's an easy one to have as your thing.
I think Fabian described it in a way. We spent quite a while like talking about these sorts of things at some point. It's like everybody was an Ash main.
Yeah.
Goga was an Ash main. Everybody starts off with that because that's how you get to aim,
Yeah.
to learn it, to prepare it. And then you kind of specialize. It's like, and I'm going to compare this, it's going to be a pretty weird comparison here, but it's like you enter med school, right? You have 7 years of preparation, and that's your 7 years of Ash play. And after that, you have your 4 years of specialization to be an ophthalmologist or a gynecologist or whatever you want to be. And that's your specialization into your specific operator. I know, right?
That's one analogy you could use.
I mean, look, don't take it as specifically, oh, so you need 11 years to master the game. This is like when...
Yes, you need 11 years on Ash.
Looking for someone with 10 years of experience in Rainbow6 Siege is like, well, the game literally didn't even come out that many years ago.
No.
Really?
I know.
Great answer. I think we're ready to go, so let's head into game. We're going to make sure that all the settings are set and are correct, and then we'll go in there. But yeah, so far, it's pretty dominant from Empire, even when they're on the back foot.
All right. Bans are correct. Score is correct.
Heading back. Let's go.
We're heading back in. Let's get it underway. It is Empire currently at a 4-1 lead. Penta win that first round off to a very, very dominating, honestly, defense downstairs. It looks like they're trying to bait Empire into imagining that they are defending downstairs. It'll do enough. Bringing out that clash and 6-picking off it will force Joystick to 6-pick off the Ash to the Capitao. However, we just saw him ace with the M249, so I don't think forcing him into that is your best bet.
No, it's not going to change anything. Like, he is an actual god. That's what it is. I don't think there's a single way of like describing this. But
correction, he's a cyborg.
Yes, thank you, Panari. Panari. I like saying it that way. It just sounds, it rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. So, we finally see Penta also correcting what we were calling for. We're gonna have a Pulse. And now you've triple Nitro Celled. So you've got Revan, Enemy, and Sir Boss all with the opportunity to bring a Nitro Cell. Some lethality at range and hopefully some plant denial. Because the amount of times that Shepard has been able to vault in and get a plant down for free with really no interruptions and no contention is quite remarkable. And that's on the side of Penta to correct. And they're looking to do that here and salvage the first half at a 4-2. Still doable.
It still wouldn't be great.
Typically we see 3-3s on Oregon. That's your most common half score. 4-2, going a bit of a run like Empire did on the attacking side, you're going to have to shut down Joystick.
Now, here's where it gets complicated, because you're not only playing against Empire, but you're starting off on what is basically your best side. So, in terms of flexibility, you're not going to have much on the attack. However, things might completely change. There's a reason why people continue to kind of watch the games day in, day out, because you might end up in, you know, chaos returning, like we saw. So, it all depends. Can they adapt? And I'm pretty sure that Penta will very well try, at least. The setup with the Pulse now, that's the thing we talked about before. Why don't you do that? Well, they have it. Is it going to have any sort of effect? Well, give yourself up just for a second against Joystick here. Of course, playing in the back panel. He's those enemy that's playing on the white stairs. And Shockwave is still in the same position, actually, watching for rotations on the Thermite.
If you're watching back home, you might be curious why Empire aren't swapping to a Master Take. First of all, they've had a lot of success with these Windows takes to the tower side. And second of all, the amount of Nitro Cells that are positioned downstairs, you don't want to have your Breacher caught out while trying to pop open Closet. Right now, this is the safer play for Empire, considering the stacking for Penta and their positioning of their members. It's looking to be clinical again, though. Drone in to spot out the member of Penta coming back up top. What it appears to be Enemy rotating back up and down, so I imagine they're trying to position his Nitro Cell a little closer in towards the big window for when Shepard eventually jumps in for that plant.
Here, SMG popping off in the back here, trying to do some damage by Zofia, but time is kind of running out, and you need to use whatever utility you have. Enemy will connect, and will find Shepard. Thatcher taken away, and not essential operator in this position, but this allows Karjeka to just come in and try to go for the side plant, but the diffuser is not picked up just yet. Oh, Seidler needs to find this kill, but they're at least trapping the defenders downstairs. Hungry will connect with a shotgun drop. Karjeka, diffuser's been picked up by Joystick, and I'll have to get that diffuser down ASAP. They'll try to, but there's a player on the site still. Joystick and Seidler will find a kill each, and they will have to plant in the open. The pulse of Revon is still alive, but he's shooting right to the side of it. Where's their cardiac sensor? Hungry tries to do some work, but the diffuser's already set. Joystick's at least dropped to the floor, but oh no, they walk right in. Revon finds the kill still. Cardiac sensor in hand. Shockwave will have one angle to deal with. The stun grenades now falling out into the white stairs. He remaneuvers and tries to pick up his teammate to help putt, but they're spotted from below. Revon will find the kill on Joystick. Shockwave holds off. Being guided is Hungry here by Revon. From below, the quick peek from Shockwave. He takes out one, but Hungry is able to finish him off, and will have to run right back to the diffuser, and there should be more than enough time to pick it up, and at the end of the half, we'll walk away with a 4-2. Still advantage for Empire, but what a round from Penta. Adapt, overcome. The pulse was what they needed.
Yeah.
It's almost as if we know what we're talking about.
The pulse was the difference maker on that round, and I don't honestly think it's not a hard thing to spot.
No,
hey, break
not
a
at
pulse, you can see where they literally are through the floor.
Really?
It's fascinating, right? I'm glad that Penta finally clued in on that and made a change, because that, again, was looking dangerous. Same thing with the positioning of enemy at the top of the white stairs, getting that nitro cell. He waited for Shepard to vault in, as he always did. As soon as he vaulted in, that nitro cell blew him to smithereens, and the diffuser was lost. I actually think the diffuser was lost outside the big window. So that was before Shepard even vaulted in. But again, good positioning there from Penta, and good alterations, good adaptations. We go back upstairs for a defense, but it'll be Empire on the defensive side now, and they've got a little bit of a different roster than what Penta were bringing. Penta, on the other hand,
yeah, different operators, by the way. Yeah, they swapped out rosters.
Yeah. Sorry.
No.
Hey, operator composition. Are you happy, Gaston?
No. I wasn't directed at you, Robert. Directed at someone that's gonna listen to this and be like, "What? Did they change lineups in the middle of a game?"
Yeah, they did. They dropped the whole team in the middle of the game. 100%, dude. Well, the only alteration for the attacking side, which is now Penta, in comparison to what Empire were bringing, is a Hibana instead of a Thermite. And I imagine that's for flexibility. Also, the ability to stay safe. We talked about those nitro cells inside of Classroom going up towards the generator closet. The last thing you want on Oregon is to lose your hard breacher. It makes things really difficult at that point. You just got to send it through windows, kind of like Empire did. But if you spend half the round positioning yourself for that master take and then have to relocate, it's a bad time.
Well, I want to draw your attention to enemy now on the Hibana. Now, you look at that operator pick and the way that Penta are approaching this site early on by coming into small tower office and then fighting into kitchen. Do you think this is going to be more of a standard bedroom take, or like a main bedroom take?
Typically on one of these takes, if you're the amount of members for Penta right now on the west side clearing east actually leads me to believe we might be seeing just a Windows take on the big window. You might still rotate enemy over to generator closet and pop the wall open just to apply some pressure on the back, but the way that Penta are taking this looks like it's a through and through big windows take. And first round of X-Kairos will detonate just to the right of Joystick, but he'll hold his position firm up against this reinforced wall inside a kitchen. There's
no way he keeps this position. Everybody from Penta is kind of coming in and trying to huddle to fight against Joystick solo. He's still just there, no support from below or from above. And saying that, there should be somebody watching the hole right above him. So there'll be a quick peek. The drone will spot him out, but he's still in position. Joystick is not moving anywhere. Capital crossbow bolt will miss, and instantly Blast will take him away. Extremely well done here by Penta, just tightening the noose around Joystick.
It was a big lockdown, but My concern is the amount of time burnt to displace Joystick from his position, and it's not like he has a lot to do with, it's not like he has a lot to do with the rest of like a late round facet. His job really is to waste time. He did a good job of that. Unfortunately, he couldn't bring anyone back to the grave with him. Blaz will drone out the rest of the kitchen, and they'll establish that no one is downstairs other than Karzeka currently inside of Classroom. Karzeka could be bringing Nitro Cell as well. Shepard's taking a lot of damage inside of Kids, so now things start to deteriorate here for Empire, but still a good positioning hold for Empire, and my problem is Penta's positioning right now. If they really are going to send this just for a big window take, they need to get a move on right now, because there's a lot of utility left on the side of Empire to stall this out.
Blast's going to spot players out. Look at, I mean, the time. There's how much time is even going to be left at the end of this? Ravon's still slowed down from below the goo mine. Scyther running away and somehow just 180 as he turns away. Sir Boss will find the kill. C4 thrown in the back is, unfortunately, it won't hit the target, but Karzeka and Shockwave will. And the diffuser is being set in the smoke right in the back here. It's going to get stopped. Karzeka will find the kill. Blast will drop another one here, but Shockwave is still alive. The pre-fire, but Blast is ready. And he'll take down Shockwave. The Ash player turns around the side and gets the job done wonderfully here. Well, that's a lot of pressure to put on Blast for that round.
Ooh, they almost choked that. They almost choked that real hard. That was scary. That was scary if you're a Penta fan, but it's Oregon. At the end of the day, even if you don't have a lot of time, I mean, that was what, 20 seconds, and they all bail into the objective. That was cutting it close if you're Penta. Ugly, but it's still around. Can't really complain at the end of the day. Next round, might want to speed things up a little bit, because Empire will sure to be able to read what you've just done and try and produce some countermeasures. It's going to be a downstairs defense, though, for Empire now. They're going to swap off. They're not going to try and run their heads against the wall. That is the upstairs defense. And Karzeka taking an Ella, an operator that has also fallen out of form, at least in Pro League. And Scyther bringing a Castle for a downstairs defense. Are we going to see a hard set meeting hold?
Yeah. That's the only way it would make sense. But then on the other side, look at Penta, like, oh, we have an Ash. We have a Zofia. They literally just deal with you. And, you know, not having the Maestro in play because you pick out the Castle for Scyther, it just means, oh, now we don't actually have to deal with any cameras. And actually, I want to verify this since Scyther does not have any cameras on him. Marcio, could we go around and check Shockwave just for a second? No, he's bringing Nitro Cell. So you have no bulletproof cameras. You have no views inside of smoke, which is something you're going to have to worry about with both teams bringing the Capitale pretty consistently. In general, not a big fan of it, and I'm not sure if Scyther even set up many of his barricades, and this is a setup. This is a 2-2-1. 2 on top, 2 on the meeting, and 1 below. It's like one of those football setups. I'm gonna call it the 2-2-1.
Hey, it's a formation, and honestly, this used to be a very common formation for
it was for
Oregon. This was like your setup. This was 2 roamers top, 2 main, 1 anchor.
This is Latin America that basically pioneered this sort of play.
Yep.
But a lot of teams just kind of stopped doing it after teams in every single region just kind of rushed in with an Ash and, you know, booked it down to the smoke. It was like, hello, I didn't expect this party to be here. Because it's not like when you're playing on console and you can fight from above, even if you're on the top floor by the console chamber. With that said, setup already in, the general checklist of Habana already being fulfilled, but you have to still deal with the operators inside. And actually, let's check this for just a second. Has Scyther set up all of his barricades? I want to check that for a second. Yeah, he did. Okay, so all the armor panels are in. We're just not sure where they actually are.
There's 2 downstairs on the double door to hallway right beside hallway hatch.
Oh, okay.
Box door. The third one, I got no idea.
I think it's top floor.
Could be.
No? Huh.
No clue.
Curious. Maybe one of them was taken away.
Maybe.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, we got no clue. So you still have the roaming setup here for Empire, but you can see Joystick slowly making his way down White Stairs, and Karzeka has now gone for a full rotation into the attic on the top of the tower stairs, but smoke's being disseminated now from Penta, and Revon will claim the life of Joystick as he flanks through the bathroom hallway. Stun canisters coming out, locking in place, as now Hungary claims another life of Shockwave downstairs. It's a precarious situation here for Empire. Shepard is dumping all of his utility at the base of the main stairs to stall out a plant attempt from PENTA coming through. Scyther looking to bust his way out of meeting split, but he's got a UMP, and he's going to be going against the world. The last remaining smoke bolt comes out from Hungry as here comes the push from PENTA, but Blast not paying attention will get cut off. Revan with an immediate trade. Now Karzeka rushing through the smoke will be cut down by Hungry, and now it's a 1v4 and a lot of missed shots from Shepard in behind the laundry basket. He'll drop one. That's Sir Boss falling, but he's got no utility left. The concussions come out. Another nice shot up through that hatch into Classroom, but he's noticed the diffuser is over behind the laundry basket, and he's going to bait this out now. A rush coming down the main stairs, but the refire on the drone gives away his position. Refires around the corner also don't land onto the member escaping up the main stairs. Heading back down, it's a time-wasting battle between both of these teams. Shepard back on the diffuser, and it'll be an immediate sprint down the stairs. Hungry will clean it up with that para, and that is PENTA leveling. 3 rounds in a row, or sorry, yeah, 3 rounds in a row for them. 2 on the attack and 1 on the defense. We're standing at a 4-4 scoreline in Oregon.
This is the map where the big teams go to die, and
that's the thing. That's Oregon.
Yeah, that's Oregon in a nutshell. 4-4 tied, which means things are definitely heating up. Empire are bringing the fight, but PENTA are not bending over anytime soon.
Well, Empire after that, we'll head back upstairs. Their 2-2-1 split on the roam didn't quite work. The retake was read, and the flanks were read really well by PENTA. I was impressed by that. It looked like when they were droning, they weren't really sure of the positioning of Empire on their roam. They were droning the objective and spotting out there wasn't really a lot of personnel deployed downstairs. There was a lot of utility reset, obviously, but not a lot of personnel to hold down the objective. But good reads all around from PENTA on the flanks, and it's PENTA storming back in this. And I mean, if you're PENTA right now, you're in 5th place, I believe. I think you got 12 points from PENTA. LAN is out of reach. Let's just say that right now.
Yeah, you're only here with 12 points. You're 3 points away from Chaos, or on their own in a pretty difficult spot. And you're looking at also your aggregate score against everybody else. PENTA right now, when it comes to the top teams, are 9-13 against G2, so G2 has an advantage. PENTA lost 7-1 against Le Stream, so they can't even break through them. There's still 2 matches to play against both of these teams as we go on, but I mean, even I don't think it's even valid to compare them to Empire, even if they had done anything. I mean, look at their games versus Empire, 7-5 winning for Empire in the very first matchup that they had. Even if PENTA win here, that's not going to mean much.
No, and it would stop. So what would happen is if G2 wins their game against Secret, which will be coming up next, if Empire lose this, PENTA win, and G2 win, then Empire just still won't clinch. That's all that happens.
Yeah, they
Empire doesn't care at this point.
They need 1 victory.
They need 1 point, and it's over. Repels in from PENTA coming into the tower take coming out, and looks like PENTA are going to try and replicate the success that Empire had on these tower windows and dorms windows pushes. And again, the deployment of personnel for Empire starkly different than what we were seeing from PENTA with that kitchen primary hold, 3 members downstairs inside a kitchen looking up through kill holes, and with nitro cells and Blas. Immediate entry in through dining will take down Karzeka, the member deployed inside of kitchen. Now Joystick will try and refrag the Ash that has pushed away and made an incursion into the west side of the building, but pre-fires give away his location, as will the drone from Bloss right up against the soft wall inside of dining, and Bloss is more than content to hold his position as Joystick can't really do a whole lot from his position either. He needs some info or he needs a teammate to come down and play the trade. And looks like he's going to hold his spot too at the bottom of the default camera, slowly inching his way up, but you've got asphyxiating bolts coming down upstairs. If you're Joystick and you're down a member right now, you can't be preoccupied with Bloss.
No, but he is. I mean, this is Joystick in a nutshell. He just keeps moving around the map as much as possible. And he's going to go up the small tower. Can he find a kill upstairs? Yes. No. No. Oh, my God. He sees the player right in front of him. It's not enough to... What? He's still on the... What? 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 Joystick! Thank you. Okay, Revon finally taken away. The Zofia off before she can do too much damage. Continue the round. Joystick eliminated finally by Bloss. They're still taking half damage here. The camera was still left available trying to bait him in, but it lost a man way too early on. Hungry with the pre-fires, he spots the Legion behind, and Shockwave takes so much damage in that. Not even sure if it was worth it, to be honest. Flashbangs are gonna be thrown right into Scyther's enemy coming in from the flank. So many positions being watched by Empire at the same time. They walk right into the Legion, he'll find one kill, drop the diffuser on the floor. Shepard just has to stay alive for just a bit more. Hungry going in for the plant. He's the only one left, but is there the information? There's so little time. Go for the shotgun shell, and Shepard will take Hungry out of his misery. And if it only was not for the one player down in the back, this round would have been so different. Clinched away. It's Empire to put themselves a round ahead, and just to kind of clarify things, if Empire tie, so the instant they hit 6, they qualified to Milan.
Yep.
Just for everybody watching right now. They're one round away from going there and being the top seed.
Kind of already knew they were going to go to Milan.
Yeah, but you're like,
for a while.
Hey, storylines. That's the like generic term that people use.
Storylines, baby.
Yes.
Storylines. You got to build that that dramatic effect. But yes, Empire, they are one round away from qualifying for Milan. They're 2 rounds away now from winning the whole game against PENTA, and continuing to push PENTA towards a relegation spot. It seems like a lot of the teams that started off pretty okay in the first half now are falling slowly down, and we're waiting for the resurgence of teams like Na'Vi and Secret to push their way back up.
What are you waiting for one?
To make it an absolute bloodbath in the middle to see where the relegation spot will finally land. But it's Empire stopping the bleeding there for a moment. Just 3 rounds in a row for PENTA to tie things up, but now it's Empire taking the lead once again at a 5-4. The only problem is they're defending back downstairs, and Scyther has changed things up and brought out a Maestro. Karzeka's still going to be running the Ela, but no Castle. I imagine this will be a much more fluid defense this time around from Empire, not trying to hard set themselves inside of meeting as rigid as they were last time.
Yeah, I think that whole Castle setup was just in case there's a tower play, but honestly, it's kind of, you lose that on quite a bit when you bring the Castle on that side instead of a Maestro. It's just better to just play the Maestro. And that's exactly what they're going to do. 1 round away from LAN again. So they'll work it, and Hungry, okay, gets a freebie on Shepard because he just walks down the stairs where nobody's expecting him. But here's the refract from Joystick, finding Blas, taking away that spearhead of the assault. It's been doing so much work time and time again. The Zofia opening up the hole here into Armory against Joystick. Just pre-firing up into the Armory from Garage and unable to find him. There you go. Finally, Sir Boss will take him away. Katarzyka just trying to coordinate here with Shockwave to kind of push against the players inside of Garage, but you really have to be careful.
It's a dangerous proposition if Shockwave gets read that he's pressing his way up those main stairs. From the basement, I mean, you're going to leave Karzeka on an island and Scyther alone on the objective. Right now, for Shockwave, he most likely wants to head back to the objective, but he's going to take a chance here, shooting at some X-Kairos pellets. Finally grabbed the last one as he mag dumps into the hatch and had to hit a reload there, but he's able to escape to safety. No one from PENTA reacting to that. And if you're Sir Boss, who is in Armory with a kill hold down the main stairs, I got to question where the reaction was there to remove the only other anchor on site.
I mean, with 4, we're having the man advantage as well. That definitely should not be happening, but still, finally, the hatch will be open, and a bit of fire laid in. Still open up the side here of the wall. Katarzyka forced back on the Ela, but his Ela doesn't have impacts anymore, so your ability to rotate away is going to be a bit more difficult. PENTA are just poised to push, but Shockwave is pretty close up here with the mute.
Dart loaded.
If Hungry can shut him down, usually what happens is that the Capital will use his bolts from the hatch and not from here, just so he can shut down the one rotation position in the back, but he actually will have one right down by the doorway. C4 thrown out and will not connect. Oh no, they drop in the back. Sir Boss unable to put the diffuser at the last millisecond. Hungary will be taken away as well. They pre-fire, they see the diffuser, it's all theirs, and now Katarzyka is poised to get it done. Sire with the kill, but enemy holding off the rotation from Garage. It's a 2v2, but is there any utility left here for Revon? All the flashbangs have been used up. Penta are gonna look for frags. They going for one. Oh, Ravon not missing the shots. And Scyther at pretty much half HP. He'll go for the fire, but Ravon will clutch the round and keep Penta in the game. How does this keep happening? Absolutely magnificent. Pre-firing the Meister around the corner. How did he even know to do that? My co-caster is currently having an aneurysm.
Hi, that's me. I'm Flynn.
We're both having quite a few of these in this game.
Yeah, this is...
Yeah, indeed.
There were a lot of mistakes made on both sides in that round, so I'm just going to leave it at for that one there, again, the roam from Empire, they're going to try it again. All right, all right.
And this time with a cut instead of having the mute. I mean...
They ran a castle as well.
Oh, no.
Thought we got rid of that, guys, but...
Sorry.
I don't think the castle, even when they brought the castle wasn't the culprit. It wasn't a problem. It stalled out a rotation coming back down the tower stairs for a moment on a defender, but that was it. Like, you just ripped it down.
Yeah, but it's just... It's not the fact that he stalled out for that moment. It's that instead of having him, you could have someone else.
You have other utility that would help you.
Indeed, like Evil Eye, the Alda.
I'm also curious what Karzeka's obsession is with the Ella on this defense. Like you said, no impacts for maneuverability throughout the map. So you can't really surprise anyone with your rotations. You're going to have to preset them with a shotgun or have someone else with impacts come and do them for you. The gun itself is really only good close range.
You know what I think? And please feel free to correct me on this, because this is only a hypothesis.
Okay.
Usually on the attack, you always see like Joystick and Karzeka up close to one another, right? But Joystick on defense plays the Jaeger on more of a roam play, right? Well, in my opinion, it's, maybe Karzeka wants to run the Ella to kind of still play around Joystick.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I feel like a Vigil would be better equipped to handle that. You still have that crazy rapid rate of fire weapon as the secondary on either the CZ-75 or the SMG-12. You got a more reliable weapon at range in that K1A. Also the ability to avoid the drones. We've been seeing a lot of flank drones so far from Penta, and a lot of drones just clearing out the roamers do a lot of good work. Joystick will take the first engagement against Revon, dropping down to 20 HP as he tries to push through Attic. He'll fall back and replace an ADS inside of generators. It looks like this will be the hill that Joystick and Karzeka will fight to die on.
And they have quite a bit of firepower, because this is up close and personal against that Scorpion Evo. Blast might be the one to kind of stifle the whole adventure as he spots the reinforcements. There's so much utility being set up here by Empire, and you can see their dedication to hold on to this position. The Ash of Blast trying to peek around the doorway, but it's just Joystick holding on for dear life. Karzeka waiting for the pre-fire, but he moves away at the last second, and he'll face death for it, and another one blasts! There's so little health left, he'll still find two. Oh, Scyther, the refrag! Oh my god, this is absolutely insane. Shockwave taken down to 20 HP, but they have not done enough work. They've not burned off enough time. They haven't killed enough players or done enough damage. Empire, definitely not in the lead.
No, it's Empire fighting from their back foot here, and they'll be fighting against a back take, as now Hibana charges coming out from enemy to blow open hatches and the connector hallway wall. The flashbangs come raining over from Hungry, and concussion mines come raining down the main hallway from Revon. Slightly blinded there is Shepard, but he'll use his first Toxic Babe to slow down the progression of Penta through that box door. The problem is that you can still rush hallway quite easily, and Shockwave, the man to cover that, is quite low on HP. Just making it in behind the default plant spot. Hungry will take down Shockwave with that asphyxiating bolt, and the plant stalled out again. His enemy on 5 HP down through the racks. That's Diffuser surrendered. Shepard will finish it off with Toxic Babe, and the last one will be deployed on the hallway inside of the closet, actually. Shepard bouncing off, and the plant going down once again. Sir Boss sticking it inside of default. They both know where he is, and through the racks again. Shepard threading the needle. 12 seconds left. Diffuser is surrendered in control, but Flight's coming in from Hungry as he recollects. Shepard last alive, so he'll go 1v1 on the cover of Revon. 20 HP. He turns the corner and takes down the flank drone, holding it, but the flank gets completed, and he's in a 1v2. In behind the racks once again. He's threaded the needle twice. Can he do it a third time? Press right up against that bomb chassis is Hungry, and you've still got Revon to worry about close on your right angle, not revealing his position whatsoever. Staying like a statue in the back, and shots rattle off the bomb chassis as time ticks away. Shepard losing the ability to possibly clinch this. He'll make himself a purview hole onto the left-hand side of the wall, but Hungry in behind the bomb. Penta have guaranteed themselves a point. Empire.
Oh, man.
This would be their first loss. But it could also just be their second tie.
Which, fair enough, would qualify them directly to Milan.
Yes.
But they could lose.
They could lose. Even if they lose, though, and then if G2 lose to Secret, which is wildly unlikely. Sorry, Secret fans. I know, you guys have been the butt end of some really mean jokes.
We all watched Premiership last weekend. Oh, man.
I know Secret fans, you guys have been taking a lot of flack, but come on. It's a 6-5. If G2 lose to Secret and Empire lose to Penta, those would be two massive upsets, first of all. But then we'd just be back in the same situation, where there's still 9 points available. G2 can still mathematically push them out.
But you know what? You know what's happening next week?
What?
Empire plays G2.
Ah, okay. So G2 would have to beat Empire. Empire would have to take consecutive Ls. Mm-hmm. And then all it would take is someone else losing out to mathematically get them to clinch.
Yeah, they would still be able to kind of make it.
They would need then Lestream to, like, screw up today against Mouse, and then it's over. Because they can't have two teams pass them at that point, so.
It's going to be a one.
It's looking good for Empire. Let's throw the math out the window and just leave it at that. It's looking very good for Empire, but Penta, maybe the beginning of an upset train for the rest of the evening. I would be down with 4 upsets.
Yeah.
I would be very down with 4 upsets, and that's kind of the nature of EU this season. Upsets, completely possible. Other regions, maybe it's a little more difficult, but it does happen. But it seems like the upsets are happening a lot more in EU based on the standings, just with how close all the teams are.
All right. How does this go now? Is it going to be the same repeat, at least in terms of operators? There's the change from Empire. They're playing the top floor. It's like they were able to defend fairly effectively.
The scary thing for Penta here is their attacks onto this site both times have been very stalled out. That was an aggressive run out there. I think that was Joystick running out of the master balcony. No, that was Karzeka. No, he's downstairs. We can't find out who it was. It looks like it was Shockwave as he just rotated back. Either that or Scyther's upstairs in the kid's door. Either way, aggressive run out from Penta, or sorry, from Empire. Won't collect anything onto Penta. But when Penta are attacking this site, they push with 20 seconds left. In either 4v5 or 4v4 scenarios with just a myriad of smokes down, all the utility coming back from the defense, Nitro Cells, Legion Mine smokes. It all just turns into absolute chaos, and it's hard to predict, and it's hard to feel comfortable in that kind of scenario when you're just dumping utility through a window and sending it with no time left.
Yeah, and you don't really know what's on the other side if you're actually doing any sort of work.
Yeah.
That said, I'm pretty sure that when it comes to much better, I think this position from Joystick is... Are you okay?
Wondering where the hell Shockwave was.
He was on white stairs.
Had his face pressed up into some barbed wire on the white stairs, yeah.
There you go. So he's going to try to use that same angle, open up by Habana, up or downstairs by the showers. Joystick will take just a bit more damage, but he can fall back. At least I believe he can. Is there a hole open up for him in the back? No, he's still there.
He's got no rotate.
Oh, man.
It's reinforced. You know, it's even worse. They can't make him a rotate either.
Well, somebody has to give him a rotate from above, and there's already players that are watching the angle. You already spot Shepard. Joystick's going to get burned pretty much and killed off. Hungry with a pretty free kill here, but we find ourselves in similar positions, Sir Flynn. There's not much time. Time is running out.
Basically no time remaining here for Penta. And again, it'll come down to an absolute typhoon, I imagine, outside of the big window. There was a flank last time from enemy who didn't carry the diffuser last time, who came through Attic, and I imagine PENTA will try and replicate that again as they have the man advantage now in hand by 2. Serbos collects onto Scyther, Revan onto Shockwave. It's down to Karzeka and Shepard. Rushing down the main hallway, Blas, immediate entry, and now it's Shepard alone. He will fall to Serbos as well. PENTA on the clean sweep in round number 12. It is Empire taking their first tick in the L column of the season. PENTA, the first ones to take down the Russian machine in Season 9.
And I don't want to put it on us, but we hyped up Empire so much at the start of the show. We're like, undefeated, undisputed. They've had such a great run, better than G2 ever did. And like, whoop.
Gaster's curse, baby.
Yeah, and honestly, I look at this and I'm like, well, Karzeka underperforming? Something's wrong. It was fairly far away from Joystick to kind of support him for most of the game.
And I mean, that's a tough one as well, because that was a rehost. So there was a rehost after, what, 5 rounds? 4 or 5 rounds?
I think it was round 5 where we started off. It was 3-1. So it was round 5 on the comeback on the rehost.
So the stats on the scoreboard there will look a little different than how they actually were. And I feel like Karzeka was getting a few more picks in the first before the rehost, but still, he had a disappointing game, we'll say. Just not typical to what we're seeing out of Karzeka. Joystick as well, honestly. He had that ace on the attacking side, but on the defensive side, he basically had no impact the whole game.
He was non-existent, and it's weird to say that Joystick doesn't have an impact on the defense because he's usually the Jaeger that's running around the map getting kills all the time. It really is weird.
Yep.
With that said, I mean, commiserations to Empire. They take their first L of the season, but impressive. Muito impressionante. Let's have a quick check here with Penta's coach, Jessica. Evening, Jessica. Welcome back.
Hello, how are you?
We're pretty good. Congratulations on your victory here. I think last time when we had a bit of a chat, it was our problems are a bit more on the attacking side. We need to fix them. And I think performance against Empire with a victory, and pretty crushing one on your attacking side, kind of says a thing or two about how work has been done so far. Tell me from your mindset, how have things gone with the team from Invitational to now?
Post-Invitational, our strategy was to focus on the basics. And you've got defense, you've got attack, and they are the basics of gameplay. And I think for the boys, what was important was that we lost a lot of our attacking rounds against a multitude of teams. So that was clearly our error. That was somewhere we were really weak. And so all we did was just dry run, work out counter strategies, and do them over and over, and have each of our players specialize in certain roles on attack specifically.
Now, I want to talk the very first round where you guys were still playing on the defense in Laundry. Now, both Rob and I kind of focused on not only the clash and the shield next to her, but the double reinforcement that was played in that very specific position to counter the tower. Was that pre-planned, or is just a thing that happened in there?
Empire always do the same strats every map, every time. They play on every single map. So we knew that they like to do a grenade, and if we were going to open that through, we would have had to move one of our ADSs there, which is not where we wanted to place it. So we figured we'd reiterate and move that elsewhere to block the Sledge's grenade, which would come down through Chicken Hatch anyway.
And on the defense as well, it was still a bit rocky. It was 4-1, and then you played kids again, and the big adaptation was the pulse. We were screaming at the screen, basically, like, please pulse, it would solve your problems. And it was just there. Now, was the whole point of this to try and fight against the windows, what would usually be done in this position, to kind of kill off any players that vault into the site? Or was there something else behind having the pulse comboed with everybody else on this defensive kids?
So we know that they don't clear down in kitchen, dining area, and that's obviously why we had that very specific strategy of playing underneath and using upwards verticality. But unfortunately, we had a couple of times where we didn't know the plant was going down, where they'd actually pre-fire over the sound of it being planted, and therefore the boys had no idea. So we lost a couple of rounds purely out of the fact that the boys had no idea where the diffuser was even going down, let alone where it was. So we thought if we had Ravan on his usual pulse, he'll be at least able to tell where people are at given times, even if they are, pre-firing, etc. And that, it was close, but it worked.
It did indeed. On your attack, as a final question, you were trying to take off Joystick in the kitchen, a position he usually plays. It's, as you said, something very predictable from Empire. But it took a while to clear him out, especially in the first time in round 7 when you try to push him away. Was this time just taken to kind of drone around and make sure you're not falling into some sort of trap? Or was this more of we kind of slacked off and didn't really know how to prepare to fight against them?
I think what's really important about us working on attack, and which is why we've lost it so many times, is my guys like to rush. And it's a step-by-step thing. We call it the 3-step process. And if the first step is to clear the roamers, then we focus really carefully in the first minute to a minute and 20 seconds on clearing the roamer. And if it takes that long, that's what it takes. But at least we have numbers then to overwhelm the side. So that's why we do a really methodical attacking push from now on.
Fair enough. It was pretty darn effective, to say the least. So again, a 7-5 victory against the leading team in Pro League and the second best team in the world after Invitational is not too bad. Congratulations, Jessica. Anything you'd like to say to all the Penta fans watching now?
Honestly, all of those who've stuck by us and really given us a shout out tonight, this was one of the hardest games going in, and obviously statistically we should not have won this, but it shows you guys how hard we really are working. We want to make you all proud, so thank you so very much for sticking by us.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Jessica. Congratulations again. We'll see you next week for yet another matchup. Good night.
Good night.
Hey, Inspector iPad over there. You want to do me a favor?
What?
You want to show me the tie break between Chaos and Penta?
Inspector Tablet.
Right.
You don't say that.
Right.
Inspector. The tie break between Empire. Oh, who?
Chaos and Penta.
Chaos and Penta. Currently, they're tied 12-12.
Oh, for the love of God. All right, who has a better overall round differential?
I have that somewhere.
If they're both tied.
Chaos is at -2. Penta has... No, Chaos has the differential because Penta only won by 2 rounds, so they're at -5.
God, they're both negative.
We're still there.
Yeah.
It doesn't shift the standings.
It doesn't shift, but if you're Chaos, you're feeling the burn after that one.
Yes.
You're feeling it because now they're tied in points, tied at 15 now. So that upper echelon spot doesn't do anything for you later season. Both pretty much eliminated from land mathematically. It's something. It's
gotta be
doable.
happy.
You'd have to go on a miraculous run at this point.
No,
I think Penta's out of it. I
literally
think Chaos is the other team that could go on a run with the numbers.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens then.
Yeah.
Math. With that said, thank you very much for watching. That was game number 1. We still have 3 more to go as usual. Next up, Team Secret versus G2, the runners-up of UK Premiership and the grand finalist at Invitational.